I think modern art will always be trying too hard. It'll always be kind of stupid. Look how cutting edge we are. Nothing changes. I don't think we'll ever have flying cars. I think we'll have the technology for it, and maybe there'll be some prototypes, but I'm saying by 2030, not going to be the norm, not going to be on the road. Just because people are already too stupid to begin with. You want a bunch of people flying around? It's not going to happen. It's not going to be the Jetsons. I don't foresee that happening in the next 20, 30 years at all. Like I said, maybe there'll be some prototypes. I'm sure they have the capability already, but you're not going to see everyone in flying cars in 10 years. Not going to happen. Stand-up comedy, always going to be popular. Next 50 years, it's still going to be going strong. People have such a strong appreciation for it now, and that's not going to go away. People love live experiences. Same with live music, not going away. People are still going to sell out Madison Square Garden. People are still going to sell out whatever big venue is in your city. Music and comedy, not going anywhere. I don't think VR will ever fully take over. I think it'll be really popular. I think it'll be great for entertainment and for education and for, I don't know, masturbation, whatever. But VR is going to be a big thing, but it's never going to be the be-all, end-all. I think the real world is always going to be where it's at. I think people are always going to like going to restaurants, going to concerts, going to comedy clubs, socializing. I think VR will be an awesome tool, and it'll be a really important part of futuristic life. But I think day-to-day life, the physical world will always win. I think we're going to see a resurgence in interest of 1920s cinema. There might even be some continuations or some remakes of films like Metropolis, hope not. Or, it'd be cool as a series though. Metropolis as a series could be interesting. Or films like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I think there'll be a resurgence in interest of 1920s cinema. I think over time, history classes are going to have to become a lot more honest, because we'll actually be able to go back and look at videos and see people's opinions on the matter, and every single person has access to a cell phone camera and social media. Well, not every person, but a lot of people. And I think this is really going to reshape history. People are going to have to be a lot more honest, because video content from the past is going to keep people honest and keep them in check. I'd like to see, in the next 10 years, a lot of dying malls be revitalized and brought back to life. I think hipsters with money could definitely make this happen. If this doesn't happen, hopefully I'm planting the seed in someone's head if they hear this, it'd be great to see malls that are on life support come back to life and restore them to their glory of like how they were in the 80s and early 90s. Just like they did with Stranger Things Season 3. They found this mall that was on life support, and they brought it back to life and turned it into a set for Season 3, and they made it into this thriving 80s mall. I'd love to see people do that for real, with real dead malls. I predict that The Mandalorian will only have 3 seasons. It'll be its own trilogy. I also think by the year 2030, there will be a brand new cinematic trilogy of Star Wars movies. Because they're making so much money, it's such a cash cow. Pretty sure there are going to be some more movies really quick here. And the way they're churning them out like Pez dispenser movies, I think the next 10 years we're definitely going to have 3 more Star Wars movies. And I'm going to say The Mandalorian will end at 3 seasons. That's my prediction. Vinyl records will always be appreciated, and I think the hipsters now introducing it to their kids will just kind of pass along the appreciation. They'll do the same for the next generation. And I think the novelty of it will never go away. I think vinyl records will always be highly sought after, and I think they'll always be collectible, and I think they'll be around for the next 100 years. That's my hopeful prediction on vinyl. Top 40 pop radio will always suck. Whatever it's called, whatever the term is in 10, 20 years, whatever the style of music, it's always going to be trash. If you want to find the good stuff, you got to look a little deeper, or you got to look backwards.
What advancements are we going to see in the next 10 years? It's a good question. So in terms of technology, music, currency, the economy, and film, and just entertainment in general, I think the term technology is key. Everything's becoming more integrated with technology, integrated with, you know, the internet and computing in general. I think in some interview, Elon Musk talked about how we are already cyborgs. Not as how we'd think of it in the movies, where we have like a cannon arm, but the fact that we are so dependent on our phones as it is, and dependent on our bank that makes transactions through the internet as well, and everything we do is kind of wrapped up in the fact that we have, if not Wi-Fi, we have some kind of internet provider through our phone or whatever. So I think, well, in terms of money, it's been projected by many that Bitcoin and all those forms of anonymous, again, internet currency is going to be the sort of logical conclusion that money comes to. And I agree with that. It's going to be weird. It's going to be kind of almost too easy. You know, if I could just swipe my phone and pay for something, that's an incredibly tempting thing to have. It's an incredibly tempting power to have. And I'm shitty with money as it is, so that's something I'm going to have to look out for in the next 10 years. Music. Honestly, I really don't know about music. Music is a strange thing as it is. It's in a very strange place right now. And again, I mean, music is already so wrapped up in technology, and the art of recording has become synonymous with the art of music making, which is a very new concept, but it's become very normalized in the last like 5-10 years. As for film, I was thinking about the movie WALL-E, and I know it was like a big, it was a farce. It was you know, it was a smart statement. It was a smart statement about society and what we're becoming, all the fat dudes going around in their hover chairs with the screen in front of them. And I don't know, with what is it, Google glasses and VR and everything, I think that's kind of where we're actually headed now, which is a frightening thought. Video games, on one hand, I think, not in the first half of the I almost said semester, not in the first half of the decade, but definitely towards the end of the decade, I think video games are going to be like 50-50 controller based and 50-50 VR. That's definitely, it's going to take a while, but I think that's where it's headed. But then similar for film. I mean, a lot of the big movie makers are headed to Netflix. Coen Brothers, Scorsese, doing movies on Netflix, which is like insane. And I think that's the logical conclusion that film is going to come to as well, where it's just going to all be on streaming services eventually. And again, this is going to be in the later half of the decade. But yeah, I think you're going to be able to put on your Google glasses and watch the new Netflix movie by Scorsese, which is, I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, I don't know, strange times. We're going to be very dependent on our phones, and so if something goes awry with them, we're going to be like that, what's that movie, what's that movie about, like, he goes into the future and everyone's really stupid? I think we're going to be like that. At least if the power goes out.
What I believe is that we are going to do a lot of exploration. A lot of exploration of space. We're going to Mars, Moon, and we're going to explore the depths of our minds. I think that's going to be an interesting one. As we find out more about our own brains and the positive effects that certain kind of chemicals have, I think we're going to learn a little bit more about ourselves. The technological advancements that we have experienced in the last 20 years will pale in comparison to what we are about to see within the next 10 years. Here's what I think. I think that as climate change happens, we're going to learn to work together as a human race to solve common problems. And with that, achieve some sort of peace or unity. Yes.
I definitely think Blockbuster stores will come back in a very small capacity, because I think there'll be some hipsters with money who understand that there's nostalgia to be cashed in on, and I think you'll see a few novelty Blockbuster shops pop up just for fun, you know? Because as of right now, I think there's one remaining, and it's in Oregon, and they keep it there just for the novelty of it, you know? And it's independently run, but I would love to see somebody come in and create a few more just for fun, you know? For the sake of nostalgia. Self-driving cars will be a reality by 2040, I'm thinking. There's still a lot of work to be done, a lot of legal gray area, a lot of safety stuff that needs to be worked on. But I'm going to say by 2040, it's my prediction, I could be completely wrong and look like an idiot, but I'm going to say by 2040, self-driving cars will be a reality, and they'll be very common. Because they're already a reality right now, but as far as on the street, taking people, not so much. So I'm going to say 2040, self-driving cars all over the place. I think another thing we're definitely going to see in the next 10 years, probably more so like the next 20 or 30 years, we're going to see a pull away from technology. People that are like the Amish are now are going to be like this other sect of people in the future that don't want to be a part of the technology. They don't want to be a part of the future. They'll be content with like 2015 or 2020 technology, and they're going to branch out and pull away. It smells like weed over here. It smells like someone's smoking a blunt. Wow, it really smells like weed, super strong. Damn, 2020, hey. In the future, Arbor Day will be a very popular holiday, just like 4th of July or Thanksgiving or fill in the blank. Watch out for Arbor Day, it's going to sneak up on you. It's going to become quite popular. I think Three Guys Having a Good Time and American Spunk will win all the Academy Awards and all the Golden Globes. Masterpieces.